What's poppin'? It's your guy King David from TrapMonsters.net, and here today I'm gonna be showing you the new VST InstaChord, man. A lot of people have been doing reviews on it or whatnot. I'm giving my intake on it. So shout out to W.A Production and Pluginboutique supplying your boy with a copy. Let's get to it. Alright, so here we are in machine 2. We got an instance of InstaChord on a group, and it does not work. I've tried different ways to get it up and going. They do not work for machine quite yet. It will come up in machine. It's just no way to be able to route it to where you can trigger other sounds from other VSTs using it. It may come up in an update or something like that here in the near future, but currently right now it's just not able to pull up. No matter however you try to route it, bus it, however, it's not going to come up at all. Let's get over to Logic. Alright, so here we are on Logic Pro X, and you're looking at the InstaChord GUI. We're going to cover the GUI for a split little second. I'm going to give you my pros and cons, things I like, things I don't like about it, and I'm going to go through and demo some of the sounds and how you go about doing the rolls and articulations for this particular VST. So, first off and foremost, let's cover the keys down here. The keys that you see right here, okay, that's just one finger right there. It's kind of based off of one finger action and being able to get sound and also different rolls and articulation, things like that. One thing I like about this is that you can kind of move these chords, like you see right here at the bottom says chord A, chord B, and then pick A and pick 2. So pick B, I mean. You can actually kind of move that around, and they kind of correlate with these right here. So this is your chord A, your chord B, and your picks A and your picks B right here. So with that being said, the keys right here is kind of separated by octaves. You have 4 octaves right here. So if you a person who have an 88 key or 61 key keyboard, you want to kind of spread it out a little bit more, you can do that by simply just kind of coming right here and moving it up or moving it down some. But in this case right here, I'm going to kind of keep it right where it's at. But you can do that for all of them. You can kind of move them around and things like that. Keep in mind that the pick B is more of a bass line type of thing right here, where you can, I mean, you can still do rolls and stuff like that, but by default it's kind of set up for kind of like your melody or your bass line or whatnot. So let's cover the GUI right here. And also, let me get this right here real quick. This is actually the keys that are being struck by the one key. So you see the one key right here I'm hitting, which is F right here. You just hit that, and it's just going to trigger that whole chord progression right there. You can kind of change that up by simply clicking on the scales. They don't have that many scales or whatnot, but if you know a little bit about theory, you can kind of get away with this. So let me check, do a 7th, add 13. See what I'm saying? So, and then you check your, you can change your root note right here. If you want to invert it, you can do so from right here. I mean, inversions right here. And then also go down a semitone, I believe that's what this would be. Then you have your transpose up here, which is cool because I've been playing around with it. Here's your transpose functions right here. You want to transpose it, and that goes for all these right here. Now, if you can see, kind of, it's not that really noticeable, but some of these right here are a little lighter compared to the other ones. When you come to select your different chord progression and root note. So this right here is more like your white key right here because it's a little lighter than this one right here. So you can have it formatted to all white keys you're triggering, or you can just set it across the whole octave if you want to, by every single note being triggered if you want to do it like that. But it does do kind of like a key switch thing where you can flip around and do a different key or a different chord progression and have it roll or whatnot. And then same thing for these right here as well. So of course you have your chord A and then you have your chord B. You can still assign the same way you do in chord A. Same thing for chord B. So the magic right here really comes to life right here in the picks A and the pick B sections right here, and well, I guess you can call it octaves or whatnot, because here is where you actually be able to do the strumming effects, and you can, like I said, once again, you can kind of assign it to a key just like you did with the chord progressions over here. You can kind of assign it a key, and as you can see, the keys I'm hitting is kind of doing the rolls. But you can, like, if you don't like that roll right there, you can go and change it and have different variations of that roll, triggering the different keys, or how I go about triggering the keys, or how slow or how fast it is. See what I'm saying? Which is nice. I like that. But like I said, they have the down strumming, then they have the up strumming, and then they have, of course, your transpose and octave, and then all notes. And then you have your one hit, which is your flat chord, where it won't do no rolling or anything at all. It just kind of, see what I'm saying? So if you want to do that, so you can kind of, should I say, program out your whole beat based off of the keys and the tone and the rolls and things like that you want to do. If you want to give more of a live feel to it, right here again, kind of do your key switching for what chord progression you want to roll, or just have a straight chord at, and how it does this roll. So that's one thing I like about this Music Theory plugin right here. Off top, I like that it does that feature of the rolls and things like that. Another thing I like about it is that it, for the bass notes of it, so right here you hear how high octave it is right now, the higher octave, but you can transpose. You can come down an octave or so. And it's going to stay in the same key. It's going to give you actually the bass notes for that particular chord progression that you're selected in at that moment, which kind of keeps you always in key, gives you good tones, and gives you the keys that you actually need to be using for that particular chord progression that you're using. So you always stay in key with that, which is pretty freaking dope right there. And then once you're done laying your bass notes in, you can come back in and come up higher octaves up, select another instrument, put another instance of InstaChord on there, and now you're able to do your melody still staying in key. It's kind of like, in a way, FL Studio have the ghost notes. You know how you watch a lot of producers do cookouts with FL Studio, and they'll use the ghost notes to kind of keep a good reference of the chord progressions that they're using, so they always stay in key. So this is sort of like the same type of thing, but definitely for a person who owns a keyboard per se, you know what I'm saying? So that's the best thing to do. But at the end of the day, it definitely keeps you in key of the chord progression that you were actually in, and when you was writing your melody or writing your progressions in. So pretty dope thing. Let's see here. Another thing that I like about it is you can save your presets or whatnot. You can save your presets, but here's the thing: is that you have two different options of modes. So let's say you have a fret, which is more like a guitar type of thing. So it kind of plays like a guitar with the fret, but then you can just choose pick and it'll do the same thing, but more of a piano type of a roll and tone to it. But if you want to just straight play the keys itself without being affected by the InstaChord, you can just hit that and let it go pass through. So that's kind of like an on and off button if you want to say that. This right here kind of goes over the mapping of your keyboard. Different DAWs have different MIDI information that requires a certain type of routing for the VST to work. So it just depends on the type of DAW you're using. Would actually determine what MIDI routing it should take to send out the signal the right way. It's going to map with your board in the DAW that you're using. They have a little bit more information about that on their website. So yeah, I highly suggest before you purchase this to look and see if this is actually going to work with your DAW, and also is it compatible with your system as well. Here's another thing, is that you can save your presets, and then you also can load. So you can go through and select different chord progressions, different mappings and stuff like that from here. You can also save your own. They said that they will be coming out with a little bit more of an update with more chord progressions. Hopefully, I hope they do some upgrade on the features as well. And let me get to the things that I just didn't really too much care for. For the price that they're selling it for right now, and it's less than $20 at this current moment. The thing I did not like about it is that the GUI doesn't, you can't move it. It just kind of is as big as it looks right here for me. But you cannot move it back and forth and kind of resize it or whatever to fit your screen, or to be able to see the other plugins and things like that that you're using. That's one thing I didn't too much like about it. And I would like for this to be a little bit more easier to see between your white notes and your black notes right here on the chord picker, I guess you can call it. I would like to see a little bit more of a change right there. And then of course, you know, scales being implemented into this as well, different type of scales and stuff like that, like your harmonic minors and things like that, where it's actually there where you can see it and then be able to highlight it, select it, and then use those as a foundation to start your beat with. Like I said, you would have to know a little bit about music theory in order to use this, but for the price point that it is currently at on sale, you can't beat it, and I definitely advise you guys to go out there and get it. And that's pretty much it, man. Like it just kind of straightforward in use, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, and then you have your bass notes and stuff like that. You can go through and change that out as well as single notes right here. And that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, everything's kind of simple and easy to get to, easy to understand. It's just all about being able to work with it. But at the same time, I wish it would also work in Machine too, because I like to use this in Machine. A part of my production, I would definitely like to use it. So hopefully this update that they come out with here soon will have it where I can be able to use it, and also Reason users as well can be able to use it in their choice of DAW, right along with their production too. So this concludes this review, man. It's your guy King David. I am the plug. All the content, all the information and the web link to this specific VST will be in the description. Go cop it for the price that they selling it at. You can't beat it. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.